Welcome back to the show, everybody. We have an incredible show lined up for you this morning. Take a look at these prices right now. We've been as high as $1.95 just moments ago, and it pulled back very quickly to $1.85. We're going to keep an eye on it here. We could be after that $2 mark today. We will see what happens. Let me tell you what the headlines are before we go any further here. Coinbase IPOs today. We're going to take a look at that and the implications, because it is absolutely a watershed moment for crypto. Former Goldman Sachs CFO comments about the CBDC, central bank digital currencies versus stable coins. We've talked about this, and now he's talking about it. ECB, the European Central Bank, gets public feedback on central bank digital currencies, and I think you're going to like it. And a new exchange trade product, an ETP for XRP. And guess what? It's going to be on the third largest stock exchange in the world. Come on in. And guess what? We're going to finish out with Dark Defender, the technical analyst expert that has looked at the charts, and he sets a new price target for 2021, and your eyes are going to jump out of your head. Let's roll this beautiful intro. Here we go.
This is Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Subscribe for new content notifications. Now, here's Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow me at the top of the screen at Backup Bradley, and everything that we're talking about here today. We're close to 50,000 followers on Twitter. If you haven't followed me yet on there, please follow me there. We're getting close to 100,000 subscribers here on the channel. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe on the way in. It's certainly appreciated. All right, now look here. This is Biden's tax hikes mean for Bitcoin. It goes through here and says year over year, we could see hikes coming to raise taxes, and this could affect us as crypto holders. So analysts say the largest cryptocurrency has benefited from the government's record budget deficits ever since the pandemic hit the economy in full force, with the Federal Reserve helping to finance extra government borrowing and purchasing the U.S. Treasury bonds. It goes on and on and on. Whatever the case, any tax hikes, which still face steep resistance from corporate lobbyists as well as lawmakers from opposition from the Republican Party, might represent the first effort to impose fiscal discipline in the U.S. since the pandemic hit. U.S. actions are not bullish for Bitcoin, as tax increases could be a thorn in the recovery and will drag down investments. Now, that's the thing we have to be careful about. Biden's proposal is an increase in both corporate tax rate and individual tax rate for high earners, the first major tax hike since 1993. So you get it. Tax hike, tax hike, tax hike. That's where we could be going, and it certainly looks like it is where we're going. And with that being said, that's why I want to remind you, today's numbers are brought to you by two companies here. I Trust Capital. Avoid those tax hikes. Just avoid them. Get yourself a crypto gold silver IRA at I Trust Capital and avoid it. That's the best way to handle that. I got a link in the description for that, and the comment section for that, and this. It's tax time, so make sure you check it out. Don't be messing around with your taxes. Crypto tax audit. Become a member. Sign up for the audit protection, and you get early alerts from the IRS letting you know if they're planning to audit you. And then you have the audit protection of Clinton Donnelly at Crypto Tax Audit. Make sure you check that out. Let's get into the numbers this morning. 2.2 trillion plus, people. Take a look at that. Yeah. How's your fancy little coins doing this morning? Quite well. And before we get out of here today, we're going to take a look at the expert Dark Defender, who's looking at the charts and has set a new price target for the end of this year before 2021 is over, and I about fell out. I'm so excited. All right, and by the way, the same expert has called this moment we were in before it even got here. So we're really going to take a look at it. All right, now, Again, ranging really quickly between 166 and 195, we see that XRP is sitting at the number 4 spot. But I want to remind you that overnight, Hiding Out Now took a picture, and I forgot to pull it for you, but it flipped very quickly. We were in the number 3 spot very briefly, but we're now back down. We're only $4 billion off from displacing Binance and being back to the number 3 spot where we were before this SEC lawsuit started, which I believe is completely erroneous. And we will see how that goes. But look at this. This really here is why we need to keep the hashtag relist XRP movement going. Whatever you tweet, let's do hashtag relist XRP. Slightly over 110 million XRP have been shifted by major and minor crypto exchanges as the coin surged to $1.96 level. Just moments ago, I saw that. And look, and with that being said, why are they moving all of this around? Remember, while this is all happening with the lawsuit, this movement in price is coming up higher. I did a breakdown yesterday that if you had 10,000 XRP at 25 or 28 cents, you would have had 35,000 plus XRP. And if you bought $10,000 worth of XRP right now, you'd get even less than the 8,800 that I showed you yesterday at $1.70. So you have to ask yourself, look at that new entry point that's there. Now, obviously, it's not financial advice. And there's a lot of people in different phases of building their portfolio. So don't be discouraged. I mean, you're here. You do the work yourself. If you believe there's real value there, then you know what you got to do. But the reality is I'm just showing that example like I did yesterday, that you can see the difference for the point of entry already at $1.96. You're not going to be getting very much. You're only going to get about a little more than 5,000 XRP at a $10,000 investment. Now, I'm not saying it's not a good investment, and I'm not a financial advisor. Everyone has to make their own decision up. But I think you understand what's happening. U.S. residents, retail investors are being handicapped, made to sit on the sideline. You can get some through Uphold. You can trade into it from BitTrue, but there's not a lot of places for us to go to get this asset these days, and the price is going up. So I see us being shut out and then basically restricted, and then they're raising the price, and the price is raising. And let's not forget that Ripple told us in Q2 that they would begin buying XRP off of the secondary market as any customer would, as a part of monetary policy, because they see XRP as currency. Let's face that. So now, with that understanding, I have to ask myself, if we're being sidelined, and look, you can't underestimate the spirit animals of the world, but the spirit animals of the world in the U.S. have been made to sit on the sideline, and we've been handcuffed. We can only do so much, right? We're limited to how much XRP we can get. So that spirit animal's got a set of handcuffs on it, because if it was me, I'd be buying a lot more than I'm able to today. Then you have to ask yourself, then where's the price action coming from? Is Ripple participating in buying back some of this off the market to get the price to where it needs to be for the depth of liquidity they need for their partners on the other side of the world? Or is it the partners on the other side of the world that are market makers that realize that the prices that we had months ago before the lawsuit may never be seen again? I think it's a very valid question, and seeing all this XRP moving around makes me think it might not be much longer before we get a lawsuit or a settlement to the lawsuit. Now, look here. This is Coinbase's moment is today, and it absolutely represents a watershed moment for crypto. There's no question about it. Shout out to Michael Val 5 links for this one. Analysts say the impact of Coinbase listing on NASDAQ will be overwhelmingly positive, as it is the bridge legacy investors will use to tap into crypto. I think this is exactly right. You guys have heard me say it ad nauseum, but the truth is that that's what we're talking about here today. And check this out. The direct listing is going to be a wake-up call for institutional investors, financial advisors, and investment banks worldwide. And this is Michael Saylor from MicroStrategy on Coinbase listing saying these things. And look, I mean, I said this over the weekend, this listing is on every Wall Street investor's desk. Everyone. And we got even more information on that here. Look at this. Ouch. It was 500 plus yesterday. We reported on it in the private equity selling, right? So this is a bit of a shock here. Goldman Sachs and NASDAQ have decided Coinbase should start trading at $250 per share, which means some of the people that bought into private equity would be upside down until we can see it go public and hopefully push back past the number that everybody bought in. That's a valuation of $66.5 billion, assuming estimated 266.2 million shares outstanding. So let's just go into this very quickly here because I wanted to just show these things here. Goldman Sachs have decided Coinbase stock should start trading at $250 per share. The reference price is discovered using public financial information along with market sentiment and is usually a conservative estimate. This figure came 27% lower than what Coinbase last traded at in the private secondary market. It says at $343.58, but we had reports yesterday that it was trading at $594. So regardless of the number, whether it's $343 or $594, they're upside down. Right, until the market gets going today, and we will keep an eye on what that does today. I am excited to watch what happens there. Now, looking at this, major exchanges are elbowing for exposure to Coinbase's listing, and it starts with Binance. And this is smart. When you see something out here making a lot of waves, getting a lot of attention, you want to attach yourself to it where you can be relevant. And that's exactly what we see here with Binance. And you will have a chance to get a Coinbase token on Binance. Take a look at this. Binance is not playing around. Major global cryptocurrency exchanges, including Binance and FTX, have announced a listing of Coinbase's stock token ahead of the direct listing on NASDAQ. According to an announcement on Wednesday, Binance will list Coinbase stock token called Coin today, allowing its users to trade fractional Coinbase stock on the Binance website. This is where the world is going right here. The new stock token will trade against Binance USD, Binance stablecoin, which is pegged to the US dollar and issues by Paxos Trust Company. Binance said that Coinbase stock tokens are zero commission digital tokens fully backed by a depository portfolio of underlying securities representing the tokens. The exchange stated that the holders of the stock token qualify for economic returns on the underlying shares, including potential dividends. And it goes on, but you get the gist of it. Binance really making themselves relevant coming into this whole thing. So Binance is going to list a token on that. I must have had that doubled on there. Sorry about that. But shout out to Michael Val 5 links. Now moving on to the government itself, which has been very slow in revealing what it's going to do. Kevin McCarthy, the minority leader in the United States House of Representatives, hinted that both the current Secretary of Treasury and the chair of the Federal Reserve may need to reevaluate their positions on crypto. Well, that's an understatement. And about 400 and some odd others in Congress too there, Kevin. But, shout out to you for pushing the measure forward. This is a gentleman who is the former Goldman Sachs CFO. And listen to what he says here about stable coins and CBDCs and how relevant they are. And it may be more, there's three parts. This is from Mr. Yo-Yo, and shout out to Mr. Yo-Yo. He has a private group if you want to join that too as well. But listen to this little clip here about talking about how important the central bank digital currencies are. And then we're going to take a quick look at some comments from the European Central Bank from citizens and the remarkable insight they have.
Absolutely. I start off old school a little bit, even though I grew up in Silicon Valley, as an extreme skeptic of stable coins. To me, stable coins are stable until they're not, just like any currency peg that ever existed. I remember when the Argentine peso was pegged to the dollar, and it was great. You could choose at the ATM, and it depended on a currency board doing what they said they were going to do to keep that one for one. And that's the challenge with all of these stable coins. And so I think there is a necessity, absolutely, for there really to be a digital dollar, meaning it is a claim on the United States of America and simultaneously on the Federal Reserve, not something that's close to that. I think it is inevitable that we will get there. And I would not dismiss the power of the sovereign, right? Go back and read your political science, right? The Leviathan, the sovereign can demand that you pay your taxes in the currency that it issues. And that's what breaks the circularity of fiat currency.
Yeah, look at Henry VIII or Elizabeth I. It didn't work very well when they went up against the sovereign. But you said that there's a necessity. Is there an urgency? You mentioned China before, and I have read that China is really pressing hard. They've essentially, I think, eliminated the ability for private parties to buy Bitcoin in China, but they are pressing hard on a central bank digital currency.
Yes.
Does that put pressure on us to compete with China on that?
Well, there have been a lot of conversations on this topic, and look, I will just give you a point of view. And as I said, I'm obviously not privy to the conversations inside the Chinese government. But if I were thinking about it from their perspective, and I assume they are thinking of all these things, I'd say, okay, we have a closed capital account. On the other hand, what if international trade could all be priced in yuan and everything exchanged frictionless in exchange for digital yuan? Maybe I would open.
No, what do you think the U.S. is thinking about his fancy little comments about all the trade being done in yuan? Can you say XRP is a bridge currency? Because I can. Because that's how you solve that problem. And they can have a digital yuan, and Japan can have a digital yen, and the UK can have a digital pound, so on, so on, so on, so on, right? But you're going to need a bridge currency in between, because I don't see anybody really going any further wanting to accept everybody else's money. This is the Euro report on the public consultation that they sought out. We saw Christine Lagarde say that they were seeking public comment, and this is one of the things that really stuck out here. And shout out to Samas for this report that brought this in, and shout out to DSG as well for the XRP ETP. And this is international payments. When questioned about cross-currency payments, citizen respondents value speed of cross-border payments, mentioning that instant payments should be possible, cost and transparency of exchange rates. So in other words, you should be able to see those things. Remember the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau information we went over where we looked at that, and it shows inside the CFPB in the U.S. and that agency that they cleared Ripple, XRP, and Swift GPI as the solution to be able to use for cross-border payments and see the transparency, sender and receiver, before accepting it, what the exchange rate is. At least a third of them had mentioned one of these three aspects. A large majority of the citizen respondents consider that the use of digital euro outside the euro area should not be limited, provided that safety and security are ensured, which is also the view of most professional respondents. Nevertheless, 1 in 10 citizens consider that it could be used for cross-border, but with limits. So there's that, and that's a great report, by the way. And then here we have the London headquartered crypto money manager CoinShares, which is the famous Daniel Masters, who is an executive chairman at CoinShares, who is the one that I keep showing you, and I just showed you the other day from Future of Finance, saying that Ripple XRP would be out and out regulated. Says here they have announced a new exchange fund product, which is going to be exchange trade product, an ETP for XRP. And guess what? It will trade on the third largest stock exchange in the world, with a total market cap of over $1.6 trillion under the XRPL ticker. How about that? Yeah, what say you, courts? What say you, SEC? Because they don't need your permission at all. Yeah, and let me tell you what. Now, this is amazing. This is Dark Defender. And whether it's Dark Defender or Crypto Bull 2020 or Crypto Wizard, all of these TA experts have been really crushing it, making the call, and we are in the moment that they have told us we would be in since February or March of this year. Those moments have been unfolding right before our eyes, and Dark Defender has had it called penny to penny where we've been hitting, and that is a pretty remarkable thing to do in this space. So He says this morning he has a new price target for 2021 here. Let's take a look. He says, hi there. I am sure you remember below $1.33 coffee cup. Now let's go further. I know it is exciting, but it is forming. So you know the upcoming targets. Today we have a new coffee cup. There can be corrections, but in the end, and listen, and grab that last part, there can be corrections. So it's not just a ladder climb up. There's going to be some up and down. But in the end, Dark Defender says XRP will be $99. Enjoy your coffee. And taking a look here at what he sees forming, and what he sees here is the previous, right, back in 2017, coffee cup pattern without handle. And then he says he sees up here the same exact thing forming again, which will ultimately take us to a $99 XRP. And if you look at it, this is the 2022 year, and we're in between there and the halfway mark of the year. So it looks like Q3, people. It looks like if things continue to move in the manner that they are, with corrections involved in the up and down, we could be making our way to a $100 or $99 XRP. That is remarkable. And I tell you what, if that keeps happening, I think we're going to see a lot more stuff here, just like Keem has got on Keemstar. Take a listen to this little quick TikTok here. Check it out.
Hi, Brad Mills. I've been waiting a little bit to send you this video. Actually, it's not been that long. It's been less than 3 months. On January 17th, I bought 1 million XRP for $276,000. And you responded by saying, wow, you're such a scrub, a reprehensible influencer. You're going to directly cause some of your followers to have significant financial losses. I hope nobody commits suicide when XRP goes to 1 penny and they bought in when they saw how much you put in. Now listen, Brad, I'm just an influencer. I'm just a YouTuber. But you, sir, seem to be a very credible investor. I mean, look at this. You're even followed by him? Wow, you have credibility. Brad, the 1 million XRP that I bought for $276,000 is now worth $2 million in under 3 months.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. And I tell you what, I don't believe it'll be very long before all of us may have a story like that for family and friends that are naysayers. And you know what? It'll be a lot of fun. But what else will be a lot of fun is being able to take some of those gains in the portfolio, and I'm planning on rolling them into some high yield earning on the Kava Labs, baby, kava.io. Come on in. 422 million asset value right here, and we're looking at 43% gains on Bitcoin, 51% on BUSD, 19% on XRP, 68% on the hard token, 25% on Kava token itself. That is some serious gains. You don't get those in the conventional market. And if we see the market go to those kind of numbers, you can bet your bottom dollar I'm going to be locking up some of this for these returns right here. Ain't no doubt about that. All right, that's going to do it for me. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe. Leave a comment below. Share with somebody you know. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Make sure you check out all the links in the description box and the comment section. There's going to be some great new things coming with NFTs and new categories on unstoppable domains. Head on a swivel. It's crypto you never know. I'll catch you on the next one.